ladies cover their heads. Gentlemen, uncover their heads. We're going to stand and face Jerusalem and open up.
Our Father which art in heaven.
Our Father which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth.
Thy will be done in earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
In Jesus' holy name.
In Jesus' holy name.
Amen.
Amen. Okay, everybody, we're going to begin our questions in-house. Where you at, B? All right.
My question was, what does people remarrying over and over again?
Okay, what does the Lord think of people remarrying over and over again? All right. First off the cut, we already know that, marriage is supposed to be forever. God intended it to be forever when he put man and woman together. It was till death do you part. All right. So the divorce situation is coming in. We're gonna see what they talk about with divorce. Go to Matthew. Go to the New Testament first, and we're gonna go to Matthew chapter 5. Go to 3 places we're gonna look at. Matthew chapter 5 and pick it up at verse 31. This is Jesus himself talking. We're going to see how you feel about divorce and all that. Go ahead. Take off.
It hath been said, whosoever shall put away his wife.
Put away his wife or divorce his wife. Go ahead.
Let him give her a writing of divorce.
Are you going to do it? Give her a right of divorcement. So it says it has been said, and we're going to go and look and see where it was said at. This usually is the Old Testament, because that's all the New Testament is doing, is just echoing or saying what the Old Testament said. All right, so go ahead. It has been said. What, brother?
It hath been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement.
Go ahead, but now what Jesus say?
But I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife,
saving or except, go ahead,
for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her that is divorced committeth adultery.
All right. So now so Jesus letting you know, it's been said, look, you can give your wife a billing of divorcement, and that's been said in the Old Testament, and Moses did it. You know what I mean? But when I step on the scene, I'm gonna cause you to, get your mind a little bit more righter or more perfect, so to speak. Jesus is gonna come here and he's gonna look. I'm gonna set some things in order. You're gonna get a real mind, because it's not even, you ain't supposed to be looking upon a woman to lust after her. Like, even doing that, you're supposed to get your mind right. You know what I mean? If whoever you with, you're gonna be with. Let's look at some more stuff. Look at Matthew 19 and we're gonna pick it up at verse 3 through 9. Go to Matthew 19, same joint. Because the Pharisees they're gonna come tempting Jesus, asking him the same question. And look what he said. Look at the answer with this. Matthew chapter 19, and pick it up at verse 3. Go ahead, take off.
The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause?
So now, first off the cuff, they tempting Jesus. So, they really trying to get him caught up or trapped up in something. All right. So he says, they're asking him, is it lawful to put the wife away for any cause, for every cause? Man, wake up, her breast stink. Oh, no, I don't like it. Let me put her away. No. What's Jesus' response?
And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female?
Go ahead.
And said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh?
Go ahead. So this, he's going right back into Genesis in the beginning, where God set up the covenant of marriage, right there in the beginning. And he's going to tell you what God put together, don't let no man put asunder. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh.
Mm-hmm.
What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder.
All right, so that's it right there, really. That's the consensus of the whole situation. What God joined together, you know what I mean? Don't let no man should be able to come and be like, boom, take away what God set in order. Mm-hmm. The law of God is perfect, right? Mm-hmm. So whatever he put in play, don't nothing not to be added to it and connected from it. Marriage is a man and a woman, not man and man, not woman and woman. You know what I'm saying? Or anything else. That's what a marriage is. So once you come together in a bond of marriage with someone else, y'all should go in understanding like, look, this is a vow towards the Lord. You said till death do us part, we're going to do this. All right? So now that's the consensus. So now look at verse 7. What are you talking about at verse 7?
They say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away?
Because that's on the table. That is on the table. You know what I mean? Because when we read in Matthew 5:31, you seen that sitting there. You know what I mean? Jesus was echoing. He said, "You have heard it said that if a man put a wife away or have a wife, and he don't like her, basically, he give her a writing of divorcement." You know what I'm saying? So Jesus was saying that. So we're going to take you right back there and why it was said. Mm-hmm. It's not because marriage is a bad thing. It's because the people, and Jesus is going to let you know, because it's always the people. You know what I mean? It's always them doing something that they shouldn't be doing. Mm-hmm. So we're going to get to your question. Just bear with me for a little bit. So now, he said, read verse 7 again, brother.
They say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away?
And what's Jesus' response? Now pay attention to this. Go ahead.
He saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives. But from the beginning, it was not so.
All right, so because the hardness of your heart, you know what I mean? Man just got it in for himself to make up any reason to put his wife away. You know what I mean? Oh, she don't cook right, or, oh, she don't do this, and right quick here, just to let you know, show you how wicked it is, it was always, for a man to put away a woman. You know what I'm saying? It was never on that level for the woman to put away a man, and that's a whole different story for a whole nother time. You know what I'm saying? Because God set it up this way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So now, if everybody, like I always say, if everyone worked this the way that God has set it up, you would have a well-oiled machine. You know what I'm saying? The man doing what he needs to do, the woman doing what she needs to do, the children also doing what they need to do. If we do it according to the Bible, you know what I mean, everybody would check themselves, and it would work right. God got it set up, it would work right. What happens is we be working outside of our area. Man, woman, you know what I mean, they working outside the area, and then it just goes to Hades. We say hell in the handbasket, right? All right, so now, verse 8 says, and he said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. And what?
And I say unto you,
go ahead,
whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication.
All right, what's fornication? Fornication is sex or relations without commitment, okay? That's what fornication is. All right? The fornication part comes in because we can read in Exodus where we're going to read, if a man findeth a maid and he lie with her, you know what I'm saying, he must surely endow her to be his wife. Like that, because sometimes we put the cart before the horse and go ahead and do that, but when that happens, it doesn't automatically make the man and woman married, in the sense of, we stood before somebody and made a vow to the Lord. You know what I mean? Your bodies become married, become one, because you just committed that act. But you're supposed to make a covenant and a vow before the Lord to do what is necessary for y'all to be in union together forever. Without that covenant, without you doing what is necessary, the man doing what is necessary to make that woman his wife, then you're just in a fornication type state. You get it? All right. So now, And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife or divorce her, except it be for fornication, he done found her in a compromising position. Go ahead.
And shall marry another, committeth adultery. And whoso marrieth her which is put away doth commit adultery.
All right, so now that's clear. That's clear. You can't, a man can't wake up one day and be like, you know what, I'm just sick of this. I'm not going to be with you. You know what I mean? He can't just wake up one day and be like, you know what, I don't like the way you paint your nails. Because at first in verse 19 it said, can a man put away his wife for every cause? And that's what Israel was doing. You know what I mean? So Moses, because of the hardness of their heart, we're going to turn to Deuteronomy 24. Because this is what men was doing. This is what Israel was doing. You know, and the Lord tells you there's nothing new under the sun. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing new under the sun. You know what I mean? We just doing it in different ways. You know what I mean? You still got bell bottoms, but you know everything's just different. But it's still the same. All right. So if this woman has not committed adultery, I'm sorry, has not committed fornication, and you married to her, and she's, for lack of better terms, not being obedient, if she is lazy, don't want to do nothing around the house, if she, you know what I mean, whatever would be unseemly to the individual male, you cannot put that woman away, man, or meaning divorce her, unless she wouldn't have stepped out on you. Get it? You understand? All right. So now let's go look at this at Deuteronomy 24, because this is the every occasion situation. Deuteronomy. If he married someone,
And she ended up being like that, like she didn't want to clean, all of a sudden she's the same man,
so when you say can he rule over her now?
at that point, like this is when I say so.
Well, what's your terms of ruling? You know what I mean? Because that's already in effect. Like the Lord already put that in effect in Genesis. You know what I'm saying? But see, if you're talking about ruling with rigor, like he's not going to rule with rigor, like or what's his name? But you are a ruler of your castle. You know what I'm saying? And your house is your castle. You know what I mean? So like my teacher told me, you know what I mean? Everybody that's in your castle is subject to you. You know what I'm saying? And if you're the king of your castle, then everybody's subject. But you don't want to be a wicked king. You don't want to be a unwise king that don't know how to rule over their subjects. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to be like on some Ike Turner stuff, like, yeah, you know what I mean?
I'm not saying be, forceful or anything like that, but he can choose his way of dealing with the woman.
Yeah, that's all up in here. You know what I mean? And we can get into some of that things, but every situation will dictate how a person does it. Like, to go upside a woman's head, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't never see that up in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't never see, you know what I mean? Yeah, just do it. I don't see it like that. You know what I mean? But we can show you some other things. But before that, let's get in this. 24:1. Read it. Deuteronomy 24:1. Go ahead.
When a man hath taken a wife and married her,
All right, so now he found this woman, and they went ahead and he marries her. Go ahead.
and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes.
So now it comes to pass, and when they're married, he ain't got no favor in his eyes. This is what the Pharisees was referring to. All right, back here, Moses giving them a bill of divorcement, and Jesus let you know that, hey, he gave it because of the hardness of your hearts. Like y'all was already doing things that was unseemly to your wife. He told you in the beginning, didn't God make them male and female for this cause? He shall leave father and mother and cleave into his wife. And we show you about this cleaving. The cleaving, when you cleave to your wife, it's like, hey, you know, y'all two are in a relationship not to rule with rigor over your wife, She's your helpmeet. She's here to help you. You know what I mean? But when a woman understands her role in the situation, you know what I'm saying, it ain't going to be no bucking, man. This is the point I'm going to get at. When a man understands his role in the situation, he ain't going to buck the system either. He ain't going to be trying to just, hey, get over here, wench. You know, go get my beer and then, you know what I mean, make sure my kids are done and make sure my kids, you know what I mean, it ain't going to be none of that. You know what I mean? It's going to be, I'm going to show you, man, when you go in Peter, let me show you something real fast. Hold this right here real quick. And go to Peter, go to 1 Peter 3. A lot of times in Israel too, man, you know what I mean, especially when we come into the knowledge that you know, you can be married and multiple wives and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Cats get way out of pocket as if this woman, you know what I mean, like she's just some type of piece of meat or something like that, you know what I mean, just to be ruled over. But I'm going to show you what the Lord says. Read 1 Peter chapter 3 and pick it up at verse 7 about the husbands real quick. And when you get there, go on and read.
Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge.
Them is your wives. So likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge. Not only the knowledge of God, brothers, you know what I'm saying, that I'm talking to you, but according to how your mannerisms and how your wife is. You know what I'm saying? We you got to understand that we are individuals here trying to reach the kingdom, and we all are flawed. And you, as well as your wife, is coming into learning, because we didn't grow up learning these laws, statutes, commandments. So we all learning this thing together. So now, husbands, you being the head of the household, you being the head as God has set it up, then you dwell with them, you know, you stay in your book. Learn how a man is supposed to treat treat his wife, and rule his house right. And then you deal with your wife according to how the book say. And then you got to look at your wife and be, hey, y'all, it's a little bit of give and a little bit of get, as long as it's not going against the Lord. You dig what I'm saying, Ty?
Yeah.
All right. So likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving what?
Giving honor unto the wife.
You see that? So when you say rule over her, you know what I'm saying? When you ask me, well, you know, or how to correct the situation where she may not be favorable, like, is some honor coming in that? When you talking with her, you dig what I'm saying? Brother? You know what I'm saying? So it says, giving honor unto the wife as what?
As unto the weaker vessel.
And what else?
And as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
So people that just said right there. So whenever correction, because everybody needs to be corrected, you know what I'm saying? From the head all the way down. But when the wife does something unseemly, going back to what, you know, can we put her away for every cause? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, or anything she do. So when she does something that's unseemly or that you don't happen to like, you know what I mean? What you going to do? You just going to go ahead and automatically thrash her, or, you know what I mean, play the I ain't going to talk to you for a month? You know what I'm saying? You on punishment or something like that? Like, nah, you gotta deal with her according to knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, if you don't understand that y'all both, one, she's the helpmeet to you. Y'all both are heirs together, trying to get eternal life. So on this walk, if you treating your wife the wrong way, and she treating you the wrong way, how do you expect your prayers to ever be answered from the Lord? You dig what I'm saying? Lord looking down like, man, how am I going to answer you and you treating your wife crazy? How am I going to deal with you and you treating your husband crazy? You think what I'm saying? Not you, for real. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like everybody got to be humble to the situation and know where to get the marching orders from. If anybody want to know, you can go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7 all the way down. So now, let's go back. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 24. And verse 1 says, and when a man have taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he have found some uncleanness in them, then what, brother?
Then let him write her a bill of divorcement.
All right.
And give it in her hand and send her out of his place.
All right, so now, Moses is speaking this, right? And we're going to read on this. You're going to see if Moses is the mouthpiece for the Lord. The Lord is allowing this to happen right now. He's the one that's giving them. He's the one that's giving it. So all the way back, when you understand that in Matthew, he's the one that gave Moses the okay to give the children a bill of divorcement, because he's looking at the brothers, basically do evil. It's like doing the lesser of two evils. Are you gonna let the man just be treating the woman all wrong all day long and she around miserable and everything? He don't want me anyway. So what the divorcement is going to do is, we finish reading. He's going to give her the bill of divorcement, and then what's the process? He is going to put her out of his house. All right? And when she's gone, we're going to see that this bill of divorcement does two things. All right? One, it frees her up so that she can marry again. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's going to keep her from committing fornication and bring wickedness in the land of Israel, where the Lord is dwelling. You understand? All right, go ahead, brother.
Verse 2.
Go ahead.
And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife.
All right, you got the okay. Otherwise, what is she doing? Committing fornication. Mm-hmm. All right? Without that bill of divorcement, without that proof that I am not in covenant with somebody else, then, like the Lord said, she's committing adultery. Anybody that marries her will be committing adultery because she's still bound to another man. You get it? All right, go ahead, brother. Keep reading.
And if the latter husband hate her. So
now, where are we getting at? We're getting to your question. Now, if the latter husband, she done got divorced from the first husband, right? Mm-hmm. Now, she got divorced, got remarried, and then the cycle turned all over again. Now, her other husband, the new husband, hates her. Go ahead.
And write her a bill of divorcement.
He writes her the bill of divorcement. Go ahead.
And give it in her hand.
Give it to you. Get up out of my house. Go ahead.
And sendeth her out of his house.
All right, I'm going again. What's going on?
Or if the latter husband die, which took her to be his wife.
Okay, well, maybe he don't hate her. But you know what? Everything is good. She's dead. Now, the book tell you once the woman is bound to a man, or her husband, as long as he liveth. All right? But he just take the natural course and he died. Then what?
Her former husband.
The one that was there before, the husband that was there before.
Which sent her away.
That sent her away. Go ahead.
May not take her again to be his wife.
Ooh, why?
After that, she is defiled.
There it is. After she is defiled. After she done laid with somebody and got it in. Maybe had 2-3 kids or whatever, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Maybe they don't even have no kids, but the fact that they are laid together, she's defiled now. You know what I'm saying? Now the husband, he can't be like, oh, I want you back or whatever. Well, then I know what you're about to say. Well, what about Ira? Well, what if we wasn't in the truth then? What if we wasn't in the truth? It's a valid question. It's a very valid question. You know what I mean? What if we wasn't in the truth and, we used to be married and, she done got married, I got married too, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden we come back and it's true love. Well, God's word is not thwarted. It's still saying the same thing. But see, here's the thing with God. When you're in covenant relationship with the Lord, you know what I mean? Before all that stuff, before the truth, the Lord what? He don't even wink at things? When you were sinning out there? You was ignorant. If you ignorant to some things, you know what I mean? And then you come to the knowledge and say we ignorant of that whole situation. Both of us, boom, married before, boom, boom, and then we come back, oh, it's true love. And you get back together, and then you get married again. When you know how the old adage says, when you know better, you do better, right? Lord, I didn't know that we couldn't do this before, but it's done. And the Lord, he can overlook things, you know what I'm saying? When you know better, you just start doing better. You dig what I'm saying? That's it. You take things into account, bro. As I can understand it, you take things into account, like what you know. It's like, man, you just getting into this, you know what I'm saying? And if you was married before and then you like, you had no inkling, no clue, and then the ex-wife just was like, you know what, she got on some, I'm straight now, let's get it back together. And you was like, yeah, let's get back together. Then you get married and then you read something like this, you like, oh, Lord. Happened with me, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm glad the Lord put wise teachers in front of us, you know what I mean? Because me and my wife was about to be like, well, what do we do now? Straight laced. You know what I mean? Well, what did we do? Although we wasn't married before, but we, she's one of our high school sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? Been with her for years. You know what I mean? So it's like, we done got married. I got divorced. It's all crazy. But it was before when the Lord let me know, it was before I got, you know what I'm saying? Before I knew this, it was all better. You know what I'm saying? So when you know better, you do better, brother. You know what I mean? You don't want no fornication. You don't want the land to commit whoredom and fornication like it is right now. They don't care nothing about a man getting married and a woman getting married and they getting divorced, and you have them shotgun marriages, and then people go to Las Vegas and get married, and before the ink dry, they divorce. Mm-hmm. They take it for nothing. You know what I mean? Like the words they mouth for nothing right now. And what it does is it commits fornication in the land. The whole land gets abominable. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the Lord didn't want us to do. Like, for instance, one more place, bro, just to make it, just to hit it home. You know what I mean? It's pretty good. The answer's pretty good, but I want to show you. Go to Leviticus chapter 18. The Lord told us when we came into our land, see, our land, the land that Israel was going to, the inhabitants of the land was already committing all these abominations in there. So when the Lord gave Israel all these holy laws, all these holy statutes and everything, and when they went into their land, they was going to be example for the whole world. And the whole world was going to envy them. Why? Because they had God with them, and he would be blessing them, and he's walking in the midst of them, and everything that they do was going to be blessed because of his ordinances and his holy law that he had. And they're going to see these people and be like, man, this is a wise and great nation, blah, blah, blah. But I want to show you what the Lord said about that, because fornication, you don't want that in the land. You can look at America, you look at the whole world and see just how it's all messed up now. Like Brother JD said this afternoon, he said you have the rappers, particularly the female rappers now, they're not even talking about being good mothers and things that are a good wife and teaching the older. They ain't even on that. They on some old WAP type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Instead of walking around and with modest apparel on, you know what I mean? If a woman go with modest apparel, they're gonna be looking at her like, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? She's what it say in Isaiah, the one that he maketh himself a prey when you turn away from iniquity. Yeah. The one makes himself a prey. Like now they talking about you. You done turned away from sinning against God, and everybody like pointing the finger at you like you something wrong. You make yourself a prey. So 18 and pick it up at verse 1 real fast. 1, 2, and 3.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. Mm-hmm. After the doings of the land of Egypt.
All right, so after the doings of the land of Egypt, where you came from, go ahead.
Wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do.
You shall not do after their doings. Go ahead.
And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you.
So in the place that you're going, what do he say?
Shall ye not do.
Don't even do after them. So where you coming from, don't do like them. And where I'm taking you to, don't do like them. Go ahead.
Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances.
Go ahead.
Ye shall do my judgments and keep mine ordinances to walk therein. I am the Lord your God.
All right, so let's look at some of the things that they was doing back then. Verse 6, go ahead.
None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to them, to uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord.
All right, so none of you should sleep with your father. None of you should sleep with your mother. None of you with your sister, your brother. You know what I mean? That's the closest and near of kin to you, all right? They was doing this. When you proceed to read down in chapter 18, when you start proceeding to read down, starting at verse 6, these are the things that they were already doing in Egypt and the things that they're doing in Canaan. Skip down to verse 18 and read.
Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister, to vex her, to uncover her nakedness, beside the other in her lifetime.
So now, listen, you married to a woman that has sisters, you know what I'm saying? Don't take her sister while you already married to her other sister. That's what the Lord is saying here. That in fact, that's what happened, and God gives you an example of this. Why? It said to vex her. It's not a good look. When did that happen? Can y'all remember when that happened? Didn't Israel
Rachel and Leah.
do it with Rachel and Leah? You know what I mean? And what happened? Wasn't they was vexed? They was at each other's throat about it. One was selling him to get his mandrakes so he could sleep with the husband. You know what I'm saying? They was going back and forth, even to the point where they was giving their handmaids out. But go ahead. So now these are some of the things that was already happening in this land. Skip down to verse 22 and read.
Thou shalt not lie with mankind, as with womankind. It is abomination.
So no gayness. Go ahead.
Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion.
So all this stuff was happening in Egypt already. All this stuff is happening there. You know what I mean? All these are abominations to the Lord, as well as people getting married or being with people and then divorced or getting rid of them. You know what I mean? I don't know what it could have been called while they was in Egypt or whatever, but the action is still the same. You put your wife away for another one. You dig what I'm saying? So now read 24, 25, and 26.
Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things. For in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. And the land is defiled. Therefore I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it. And the land itself vomiteth out her inhabitants.
So you need to peep that. You know what I mean? How the land vomiting out their inhabitants. You walking around with AIDS and, you know, all type of diseases and everything that, you know what I mean, is going to put you out your land. You dig what I'm saying? Look at because of how rampant fornication, unbridled sexual lust is, and not only in the Americas, but worldwide. What's happening with people, you know what I mean? You got gonorrhea, syphilis, black gonorrhea. You got all these things that can put people out. Herpes, you know, stay with you forever like luggage. Like, what's it? So it's like, you know, every once in a while it rears its head up. All this stuff is because you running around rampant with unchained and unbridled sexual lust and desire. Licentiousness is called in the book. And the whole land vomit the inhabitants out. All right, so, you know, that's good enough right there, bro. You know what I mean? So, you know better, you do better, bro. I hope that gave you that answered your question, you know what I'm saying? All right, very good. Praise the Lord. Yes, sister. I haven't seen one. I haven't seen one at all. But go ahead. Mm-hmm. However they please. Well, if there's a scripture that says that you can correct your wife however you deem necessary to do it, kick her in the face or, you know what, put her in a closet for hours, it's never going to say it like that per se. But whatever scripture they might think could allude to that, I need to see that. You know, show it to me. You know what I mean? I haven't came across it, and I don't claim to know everything of the Bible, but I do be doing my study, and it's like I don't see that. I do see where if a person is man, where's this script at? Where's that script at? Where it say, if a man got a woman, where is that John at? Let me see. Hold on.
I was going to say Ephesians 5.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. The Ephesians 5 is good too, family, but I want to see where. Go to Exodus real fast. was it Exodus 22, was it? Wait, I'll get it when I get there. Let me see. Entice it. Yeah, Deuteronomy 22. That's where we was at. All right.
That's where we're going.
Yeah. I had to go to Exodus to find out. All right. Because I got stuff written in my Bible, you know what I'm saying? I had a brain fart right there. All right, let me see. 22. Oh, man. It's like when a man gets a maid servant and, he gives the son a wife and then
Nothing shall
gets another
diminish
maid.
her from her.
Huh? Say it again?
Should be nothing shall diminish from her.
Yeah, that John. That John right there. Yeah. Like, this is the only one where I might see
But
something
even that,
something to that.
She was a maid at that point. She wasn't even like just some woman around town. It's
Where's it at, yo?
I believe it's Exodus 21. Should look 21 and 10.
There it is. Boom. So now let me see this. So let's go to 21. Like this is like the only resemblance where I might see anything that might be like kind of like a discouraging to a woman like that. But let me see. Boom, 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 boom. Read verse 7. Go ahead.
And if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant,
She
shall not go out as the men servants do.
Right.
If she please not her master, who hath betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed. To sell her into a strange nation, he shall have no power, seeing he hath dealt deceitfully with her. And if he hath betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters.
All right. So even with this maid servant right here, and she's like, this woman's a maid that was taken. And this man, he had betrothed to himself, right? Bought her to do something, but then he gonna give her to his son. You know what I'm saying? And the son, what'd he say? If he deal with her, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. Like the man servant that bought the woman, he gonna deal with her like even though she was a maid at first. But now you ain't gonna still treat her like no maid. You give her to a son. Now you gonna treat her like a daughter. Now, what happens if the man don't, what do you say? Verse 10, read that.
And if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment.
So if the man, at first she was a maid, he goes to his son, she becomes his wife. So that would, in essence, be his first wife, right? She was bought to be a servant. She basically got a promotion, for real. She the first wife. But now he gets another wife, right? Because we already know that, the Lord dealt with polygamy. There it is, polygamy. You know what I'm saying? And it was no snuff off the Lord because men knew how to treat their wives. You know what I mean? And everybody knew the situation, how it was supposed to go. It was nothing like it is today. So now, go ahead.
Her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
So he ain't gonna you can't treat this woman like second to nothing when she was your first one. You know what I'm saying? Even in another place in the book, it tells you that, hey, if a man have two wives and he hate one and love the other, and the one wife that he hates, she has the firstborn son. Now, what happens with the firstborn son? He gets the birthright, which means he gets the inheritance and all that stuff. So the one that's hated, she has his firstborn son. He can't, and the other woman that he loves, she has a son. He cannot take the son of the woman that he loves and make him first over the legitimately firstborn son, which is by the hated woman. He can't do that. You know what I mean? God, that's wickedness into the Lord. You know what I'm saying? What's right and what's right and what's wrong was wrong. But this is the only time where I can see like same chapter. Watch this. But see, once again, this is all servant stuff. But watch this though. Read verse 20, 21 and 20. Read this.
And if a man smite his servant or his maid.
All right, now this is servants, right? This is a man's money. And although we was talking about marriage or a wife, like I said, I ain't seen no scripture to show me that. But in a servant's case, where it be a man or a maid, watch what happens here as far as hitting or something like that. So keep reading, brother.
And if a man smite his servant or his maid with a rod, and he die under his hand, he shall be surely punished. Notwithstanding, if he continue a day or two, he shall not be punished.
Now the Lord gives you the why. Why?
For he is his money.
See, that's his money. You know what I mean? Like you bought with a price. You're a servant for a time period. You have a service to do. So that's why up here, read verse 21. Read verse 1, brother.
Verse 1?
Yeah, 21 and 1.
Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them.
Uh-huh.
If thou buy a Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing.
So understand that. You see what I'm saying? So like this is this man's money. So when a man or a maid servant, you know what I mean, like for lack of better terms, get out of line and got to get checked, like that's part of the job. You dig what I'm saying? Now, although your wife is subject to the man up here, but it ain't like this. You dig what I'm saying? It's like I don't see you, you know, on some Ike Turner stuff. The Lord tell you to do that. So now let's go over here. And before we go to Ephesians, go and show you what the Lord put in effect. So let's go to because of sin. Watch how the Lord put this in effect and starts putting things in motion. And the man and truly is going to rule over his wife, but it's not going to be on no rigor type stuff. All right, watch. Go to Genesis chapter 3 and pick it up at verse. Pick it up at verse 16. Just go right. This is where the Lord is starting to give out punishment for the disobedience. And this is the fall of man. Go ahead.
Unto the woman he said,
What?
I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
Uh-huh.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
So look, the Lord is setting this in motion. So when people start being like, why, it seemed like God is, what do they say, dogmatic and, what is it when they say chauvinistic or whatever, you know what I mean? That's funny, to me. But God put all this in motion. So he said, because you didn't hearken unto me, Adam, and because everybody ate from that tree, which they knew not to, this was going to get put in motion. He said, in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be unto thy husband, and what?
And he shall rule over thee.
So who put that there? The Lord put that there. Mm-hmm. But the ruling ain't going to be with rigor. You ain't supposed to be ruling your servants with rigor. You know what I'm saying? And if we stayed in Leviticus, you know what I mean, it'll show you that. Leviticus will show you how you're supposed to have a servant and you're not supposed to rule them with rigor. Deuteronomy tells you that. You know what I mean? Deuteronomy 15 tells you that, let's look at it. No need to talk. Let's look at it. And then we're going to go there. But before we do that, I'm sorry. Go to Ephesians, because Ephesians is going to play a real part in that. Go to Ephesians 5. We're going to come back to Deuteronomy. It's just the scriptures just keep coming. They just they come. Let me stop right here. Go to Ephesians 5. Corinthians, Romans, Colossians. Let's go back here. Ephesians, right? And this is so good. All right. Read 21.
Submit yourselves one to another.
Peep that. You see that? It says submit yourselves one to another, right? People seem to miss this all the time when people go here and try to prove a point on how the woman should be submissive to the wife and all this. But right from the cuff, the Lord telling you, look, you submit yourself one to another. But see what I'm saying? So now watch this. Go ahead.
In the fear of God.
Because when you fear God, he's going to bring you from all the madness that the man might think and the woman might think. Keep going.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord.
Like unto the Lord. So from the kid, wives, if your husband say something to you that you particularly don't feel is okay, like the good rule of thumb is, if he ain't telling you to do anything about or to go or transgress the commandments, go ahead and submit. Go ahead and submit. Now, now do this with I tell to everybody, take everything with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? You know, you like take it with a grain of salt. I could go someplace with that, but take it with a grain of salt. Like, but really, if it's outside the commandments, you know, I might want to chill with that. You know what I'm saying? But go.
Verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife.
This is why. Go ahead.
Even as Christ is the head of the church.
Go ahead.
And he is the Savior of the body.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ,
Yep.
so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
In what feels good. In everything, right?
In everything.
All right. So, like I said, now, if y'all doing this thing the right way, it is what it is. All right. Go ahead now, husbands.
Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church.
Big statement. You know what I mean? And what do you do with that?
And gave himself for it.
Uh-huh.
That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the word, with the washing of the water by the word.
Uh-huh.
That he might present it to himself a glorious church.
All right. So go ahead. Without spot or blemish, right?
Yep.
So 28, read that.
So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies.
There it is. So you beating yourself?
Exactly.
The man beating himself up? You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
He that loveth his wife loveth himself. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it, even as the Lord the church.
All right, stop. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can read scriptures like that, which is clear, which is straight to the point, and it's clean. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, the Lord told you to rule over, you know what I'm saying? The man's going to rule over the woman like that. But it ain't on some rigorous type stuff. What do I say, Deuteronomy? Say again. You can, yeah, you can, you go ahead. Ask him. Yo, so listen, what's the name? Leviticus 25. 25 is for the Jubilee, right? It's 25. Day of Atonement. No. Yeah, 25. All right, yeah, go to 25. All right, so now, this is dealing with the year of Jubilee, but look at how servants are supposed to be treated. So now remember, watch how even when you have bought servants, and remember, like what we just read in Exodus, where, you know, the servant, if the man servant or the maid servant get hit with a rod and he die, the man's going to be punished. But if they continue for 2 or 3 days, then, you know what I mean, it's what did it say afterwards? If it continue for 1 or 2 days, then it's going to be good. And basically why? Because that is his money. But when you have a servant, look at how you're supposed to treat him. So now, pick it up at verse 40 and read. This is Deuteronomy 25 and 40.
But as an hired servant and as a sojourner, he shall be with thee, and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee.
Go ahead.
And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return.
Uh-huh.
for they are my servants.
So now look, ultimately, look what the Lord is saying. And this is your brother, and these are the Hebrews. He said, they my servants. Although you bought them to be your servant, they mine. The whole earth is mine, and everything in it. The earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof. But if you're operating like this, understand when you're dealing with servants or manservants and maid servant, you're supposed to treat them with a certain level of respect. You ain't supposed to be ruling over them with rigor. And the Lord tells you all the time, you were slaves in a country that wasn't your own, and you was treated with rigor, and you was treated badly. So you should understand better how that feels, so you ain't going to treat nobody else like that. All right? So now look what he's saying. Go ahead, brother. Keep reading.
42. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor.
See, he said, thou shalt not rule over him with rigor. Do what's necessary to be done. Your manservant and your maidservant, as you've seen, in another instance, the man had beat him with a rod. You know what I'm saying? If he died, it was like, man, you're going to get punished, man. But if you continue for 2 days or 3 days, then you good. Why? For instance, his money. Maybe they needed to be corrected on some things. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't beating them every day for, I'm just going to get up. You know what? Get out of here, Tyler. You know what I mean? Nah, for what? That don't make no sense. You know, every punishment should have a just cause. You dig what I'm saying? All right. Thou shalt what? Read that 43 again.
Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shalt fear thy God.
All right, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Skip to 47.
And if a stranger...
No, 46, I'm sorry.
Okay. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you.
This is about the stranger. This is the stranger. Now, you know what? Read 45 and 46. You got to read this. So now, he is talking about Hebrews. This is your brother. You ain't supposed to rule them with rigor. Now, what about the stranger that happened to be among us? You know, the non-Israelite or the heathen, you know, all right? How are we supposed to rule them? If we buy them with money, or they become our manservant and maidservant, because a lot of our Hebrew brothers are more zealous. Hebrew brothers be out there talking about, you know, well, only Israel can be saved. And since only Israel is going to be saved, only the white man or the Gentile, they're going to be our servants. I'm like, well, what about the ones that get the thing right? What they going to be? They never would talk about that. They just focus on Israel being servants. And I get it, you know what I mean, because we were servants. But are you going to be beating them like they was beating us? Are we going to be treating them like they was treating us? So now look and see how we supposed to do that. Verse 45, read.
Moreover, the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they beget in your land, and they shall be your possession.
Okay.
And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever. But over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor. Continue.
Keep going.
And if a sojourner or stranger wax rich by thee, and thy brother that dwelleth by him wax poor, and sell himself unto the stranger or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of the stranger's family, and that he is sold, he may be redeemed again.
Yeah.
One of his brethren may redeem him. Either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is nigh of kin unto him, of his family may redeem him.
All right, so it looked like, look, even with this right here, it says, verse 46, ye shall take them an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever. But over your brethren and children of Israel, you shall not rule one another with rigor. I got Isaiah 47 and 14 and 2 there. But the point being, Solomon, you could look at this in Solomon's kingdom, and it was straight peace. He had other inhabitants other than Israel ruling in his kingdom. And I mean, not ruling, I'm sorry. They were in his kingdom, and they were subject to him. You know what I'm saying? But when the Queen of Sheba came, what did he say? what she was like, man, all your subjects, man, they all happy and everything. He didn't have them all done in and was getting all beaten down, and everything was like peace in this kingdom. You dig what I'm saying? So that's how it's supposed to be when somebody's ruling under you. But I haven't seen nothing about no wife or anything getting beat like that. You dig what I'm saying? So if somebody finds something, then bring it to me. Other than that, I can't say that. Hope that helped you, sis. Praise the Lord. What's up, homie? Nothing? None? Yeah, check. I don't know. So you look, you right there by the computer, Hoss. Huh?
If there was anything online. If there was anything online.
Oh, is there anything online?
Yeah.
What y'all got left? Can we eat beef jelly? We got that?
No,
We didn't touch
we didn't touch it. We ain't touching nothing online yet.
That's it. Wait a minute. Was Sephora there or just left with her father Jethro when Moses married the Ethiopian?
It don't say. That don't say.
And how is it?
What was Sapora dead, or was he? What was? Or was she left with Jethro, her father? That was a question online, right, brother?
Was Sephora dead or just left with her father Jethro when Moses married the Ethiopian?
And my answer is, it doesn't say. It don't say. Right. Yeah, nah, but that ain't gonna happen. Right. Mm-hmm. Nah.
She died or she was right there. Like that wasn't one of your answers. Like you say that. Like the way you think she left somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, that minute like, where's the story? Go read the story.
Let's go. Let's go. Go to.
That had to be your options. How come she just wasn't there with the other chick? Like,
That sometimes that's where they be taking it. You know what I mean? Because they'll.
right? No, it wasn't taken that way. Meaning you directly made sure you didn't put that in there.
Oh.
Like, you knew that was an option. I'm looking at who asked the question. You knew that was an option. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who last name Israel know that's option. So then why you put that in there?
Where is that at? Exodus. Exodus. Da 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 da.
She stayed with her dad. They don't even operate like that. When she left her dad, she belonged to Moses. So if she was dead or she was there. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
The one thing that's not right is she stayed with Jethro.
Say it's 18, maybe 18.
We trying to find where it's at.
Yeah, I think it's 18. What's it? It's like 18, and pick it up at. We said.
What part of it? How you looking at?
Yeah, it's poor. 18 and 1. Read 18.
Yeah.
Start from 18, verse 1, and we'll read down to it.
Numbers?
Exodus.
I'm like, why is he saying that? I'm like, this one ain't gonna
Go ahead, bro.
When Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard of all that God had done for Moses and for Israel his people, and that the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt, then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her back, and her 2 sons, of which the name of the one was Gershom, for he said, I have been an alien in a strange land. And the name of the other was Elishazar. Eleazar. For the God of my father, said he, was mine help, and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came with his sons and his wife unto Moses into the wilderness, where he encamped at the mount of God. And he said unto Moses, I, thy father-in-law Jethro, have come unto thee, and thy wife and her 2 sons with her. And Moses went out to meet his father-in-law, and did obeisance, and kissed him. And they asked each other of their welfare, and they came into the tent. And Moses told his father-in-law all that the Lord had done unto Pharaoh and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake, and all the travail that had come upon them by the way, and how the Lord delivered them. And Jethro rejoiced for all the goodness which the Lord had done to Israel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Jethro said, Blessed be the Lord, who hath delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who hath delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all gods, for in the thing wherein they dealt proudly, he was above them. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took a burnt offering and sacrifices for God. And Aaron came, and all the elders of Israel, to eat bread with Moses' father-in-law before God. And it came to pass.
All right, so hold on. I'm just trying to make sure you don't have to read the whole thing out. Because I thought it said that he went back.
Well, that'd be 27.
Oh, yeah. 27. There it is. Go ahead, bro.
And Moses let his father-in-law depart, and he went his way into his own land.
All right, yeah. So it would have said his father-in-law and his wife, you know what I mean? But should have, but you can't read that. The consensus is she right there. I mean, yep.
But what's the other story with how much time has passed? You gotta realize none of this happens after 40 years. So Moses was 80 when all this go down.
Yeah, absolutely.
How old was she? I'm talking about his wife with the 2 kids.
Oh, yeah, exactly. She is old as hell. Right. Yeah, I will say, but at least even if yeah, you know what I mean. Even if she was say 21 or something like that when he came, it still was 80 years past, right? 40 years past, right? So she's still old. Yeah, I'm going back with my dad. Right.
But all I'm just saying is like, she didn't need her husband. That's what you're telling me. Oh, she stayed at home.
No.
What time to go? You left. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Moses sent her back. She sent her back to her dad. Then they came anyway. How long was that for anyway? Moses sending her back to her father.
Why he was down there?
Yeah, in Egypt, doing what he was doing. So, yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she would have been a liability if you running up the Pharaoh house. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's when you said the pattern. Come back.
Yes, sir. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready. Give you some more children. Yeah, come on.
Other chick though, when Leah, Miriam got popped off her mom.
Numbers 12. Numbers 12, yeah. If my memory serves me correctly. Numbers 12. All right, yeah, you can pick it up at verse 1. Now, this is Miriam and Aaron feeling some type of way about the Egyptian woman. Go ahead, bro.
And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married. For he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, Hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek, above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron, and unto Miriam.
Yo, so like, hey, Hebrew. So is that like they sitting here saying something to him? They saying something about Moses, and then all of a sudden the Lord just off the cuff, like after he heard it, like Hey, let me talk to y'all about something real quick. You know what I mean? That's how it went down, right? Like they sitting there saying something, and then all of a sudden, yeah, yo, whoa, let me talk to you about something real quick. So now, go ahead. So what he say?
Come out ye three unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out.
This is hard to me, man. Like even like how the Lord was dealing with our forefathers back in the day, man. It's like it's hard. He was right there. You know what I mean? Like in the midst, stuff start happening. Like when the joint went down with Korah. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it is like whenever you seen that cloud go down on the tabernacle, it's like the Lord there, guys. Like his presence is right there. Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
And the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed.
She stepped off on him, like, don't listen. How I handle Moses, man, I'll deal with Moses, I'm gonna talk to him face to face. He ain't no average, ordinary Joe like I'm dealing with. Just on the strength of that, you should feel, if anything coming out your mouth against him, you should really think about what's going on.
Just walk off.
but I'm gonna leave something with you. I'm gonna leave something with you. So what's going on? That's crazy, man. I mean, the point is, the Lord real, man. And all these stories, everything that's written here, man, is for our admonition, man, like to really get it together. That's why it'd be kind of crazy to me to think about, man, how Caspi really, the Lord be putting people up in certain positions, and Caspi just be talking about people crazy like the Lord ain't do this, you know what I'm saying? Like, you better watch how you talking about people that the Lord put in certain positions, man. Straight up. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you dig what I'm saying? I'm like, man, we too quick, you know what I mean, as a people, man, like to just run off at the mouth. And that's how you know that another thing is why it's different. This time is really different. Caspi used to be really held to what they talking about. And, the Lord going to bring it back, bring that whole way of thought pattern back to fruition. You're going to be held by the cords of what you say in your mouth. You know what I mean? Let your yea be yet nay and your nay be nay. Watch what kind of vows you say. Watch what you're saying against people. You dig what I'm saying? Because right now, people just feel like it's just so free. I can just say whatever I want to say, and I ain't going to be held accountable for it, man. But, you can find yourself actually talking about the Lord's anointed. And the book tell you, hey, not to talk over the ruler of your people, you know what I'm saying? And people be so arrogant, like, as if God didn't set up people to straight up rule over us. Like what do you think like our elders are doing, man? Giving us the word of God so that we can better our lives. Like, Lord, this is real business right here. Like, we don't, like, Cass is in my position, Brother JD's position, you know what I'm saying? And then especially Brother Elijah, Bowie, you know what I mean? The elder that was way before us. You think they just got there for, let me just put them there. No, these people have been tried and true, you know what I mean? What it say about a bishop, bro? Let's look at this, man. Like, go to Titus, 1 Timothy. Say again. Oh, peace. Oh, how you feeling, Sister Adasa? Yeah. Nah, you good. We said everything that we needed to say. You good right there, sis. You called everything.
No, she's saying what she was reading.
It is another question? What it say? But before we get down, watch this, man. Go 1 Timothy. Can I get there? Look what it say. 1 Timothy chapter 3, and pick it up at verse 1. What it say?
This is a true saying.
Uh-huh.
If a man desire the office of a bishop,
Go ahead.
he desireth a good
Because it is a
good
good
work.
It is a good work. You over a bishop is an overseer. You supposed to be you're over God's flock. And Peter, you know what I mean, which was an apostle, he sent, you know what I mean, the Lord said, Peter, you love me? Yeah, I love you. If you love me, feed my sheep. Feed my lambs. You know what I mean? Feed my flock. 3 times he's telling. So that is the job, man. And if a person going to be over somebody, you can't be slack in this book. You're supposed to know what you're talking about, because this is people's lives on land. Be more correctly, this is the Lord's flock, man. And we stewards over that flock. So when you speaking all out of turn, talking about who the Lord chose to put in this place, because we didn't put ourselves. You might want to watch your mouth, man. Talking about elders and everything, man, you better watch your mouth, man, when you talking. This is a true saying. If a man desire office of a bishop, he desires a good thing. What happens?
A bishop then must be blameless.
That means he got to prove himself. He got to be blameless, man. He got blameless to the people. But more importantly, blameless to the Lord, man. The Lord is the one that's trying men's heart, seeing if they're going to be someplace. You dig what I'm saying? But people be thinking that you up here by yourself, man, nah, no sir. What else, brother?
The husband of one wife.
Go ahead.
Vigilant.
Uh-huh.
Sober. Of good behavior.
Go ahead.
Given to hospitality.
Yes, sir.
Apt to teach.
Apt to teach, go ahead.
Not given to wine.
Uh-huh.
No striker.
No strike. You can't be beating on your wives. Just to let you know, you can't be beating your wives up. You think you want to be up here doing something? You can't be quick to daggone snap off at the mat with your brother and sister. I'll tell you, there's another place in Timothy to tell you, you know what I mean? The servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle, apt to teach. Go ahead.
Not greedy of filthy lucre.
Go ahead.
But patient. Not a brawler. Not covetous.
What else?
One that ruleth well his own house.
So if your house is in disarray, don't think about standing up here. Your spouse on Facebook running her mouth all the daggone time, you know what I mean? Don't think about standing up here. You don't got your house in order. Don't think about standing up here. Go ahead.
Having his children in subjection with all gravity.
That's right. You don't know how to raise your children and run them the right way. Don't think about standing up here. The Lord going to tell you why, too. Go.
For if a man know not how to rule his own house.
Go ahead. You don't know how to conduct your business at home.
How shall he take care of the church of God?
How you going to step to do something like this? It's food for thought. Go ahead.
Not a novice, lest being lifted up with pride, he fall into the condemnation of the devil.
Yeah, you can't be a novice either. That's why the book says, study to show thyself approved unto God. A workman that need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. You can't be no novice up here, because as soon as you get somebody to say, oh, let me praise you, Brother Tyler, you good, you're going to get puffed up. I'm a teacher. Straight up. Satan gonna be all right there, because what? Satan the king of pride, right? Yeah. He'll be right there pulling the strings. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, they should have gave you more applause than that, man. You put 15 minutes into that lesson. You put an hour into that lesson, man. They didn't get that? Well, who did, man? Y'all all dumb. You know what I'm saying? That's what a novice would do, man. Go ahead.
Verse 7. Moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without, lest he fall into reproach in the snare of the devil.
So you said, man, I'll come around, yo, Ty, you know what I'm saying? Yo, what's good with Tyler over there, man? He good? Yo, man, listen, man, that brother's trustworthy, man. You know what I mean? You know, I could count on him to do X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? He's getting a good report of people outside. You know what I mean? He seemed like a good brother. You know what I mean? As to the contrary, man, that dude, he can't hold water. You know what? You let him. He always coming and borrowing money from you, never paying you back. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want that about you, man. You don't want nothing bad about you in that way. A bad reflection on you, and you trying to lead the people of God. You dig what I'm saying? It's like it's not gonna work. And most certainly, you ain't supposed to be talking about the person that's up here in front. You know what? You be better off doing what Michael said to Satan when they was disputing about the body of Moses. Michael didn't bring no railing accusation against him like, devil, you da-da-da. He said, man, the Lord rebuke you, man. You got somebody that's an elder or something like that is staying in a position where the Lord put him, and you be like, man, look, you might want to watch what you say about these people, man. Let's go look. Well, no, I'm good. I'm done with that. Because they started talking about Elijah, right? Go up there, bald head. Go up there, bald head. That was children, right? That was children. They talking about the man of God, and what happened?
Bears.
She-bears, too. She-bears came and ran 40 children off, man. Watch your mouth. If the shoe fit, wear it. All right, so
There's another question.
what's the question, bro? How is it his house? Something's wrong? Sean right there. Oh, is he? Oh, go ahead. Well, here, you want the easy answer is everything is the man's. The easy answer is like everything's the man's. Even down to his name. You take the man's, he's your cover.
Head of the body.
Let's look here. See, this is the reason why living in the land of our captivity, you know what I mean, and underneath our captives' laws, to where we can get things misconstrued about here. Everything misconstrued. I'll go back to Genesis where it is. Go to Genesis chapter 3. What did it say again? Verse 15. No. Verse 16. Go ahead.
Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Go ahead.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children,
Uh-huh.
and thy desire shall be to thy husband,
Go ahead.
and he shall rule over thee.
All right, even in that little instance right there, I mean, read here. Go to 2 and verse 18. What it said?
And the Lord God said, It is not good that man should be alone. I will make him and help meet for him.
All right, so listen. It is good that man shouldn't be alone. I'm going to make a help meet that is good for him, or that is a help meet for him. You know what I'm saying? Or one that's suitable for man. All right? Go to 1 Timothy real fast. Chapter 2. 1 Timothy chapter 2. Pick it up at verse 12. Read.
But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man.
The point where we get into is try to usurp authority over a man. You know what I'm saying? Now, if y'all bought the house together, then it is what it is. But whose house is it? Let's show you where the order comes in at. 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Or is it 11? I always get these confused. 11. It's 11. 1 Corinthians 11. Yeah, here it is. 1 Corinthians 11. This is why it's demands. Everything's demands. Go ahead.
From the top.
Yep.
Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
The head of every man is what?
Is Christ.
Now we can do this twofold both ways. You know what I'm saying? Well, what if I ain't got no man? But listen, woman is man, right? Ain't woman man? All right, so if the man don't have a cover over her head, who's still over her head? Who's her head? Christ. All right. So now, because this goes deeper than just the surface. So be followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I deliver unto you. So this is Paul's delivering this unto you, and he's the mouthpiece of the Lord. So watch the order that he puts down. Go ahead.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Go ahead.
And the head of Christ is God.
Go ahead. All right, that's it. That's the order. That's the order of how God goes. I guess that's the last one.
Hey, that camera turned off again.
Yeah, something's wrong with the camera. So the last one. His house, the man's house. They purchased together.
So you and your wife purchased the house together. She put it in her name. Like she got better credit. Like so it's financed in her name.
Okay.
And then so y'all get the beef.
Give me the scenario.
Huh?
There you go. Give me the scenario.
Yeah, y'all get the beef and basically she tell you to get out. Who house is it?
That's her house.
So you gotta keep that in proper perspective too, like when answering stuff like that, like, cause really that might be his real family. I know it's not. Like I think this, I think I know who that is. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why I was like, ultimately, listen, see, that's the problem with living in, like I just said, that's the problem with living in our captivity. That's the problem with living in captivity, because I like what my teacher come up here. You know what I mean? Do you know the real problem really is understanding a question. I get it now. You know what I'm saying? Like understanding like where the person coming from when they give you but a little. But when you put like a scenario into it, it's like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? It can make it real easy. So listen, I told you the easy answer is everything's demands. That's the easy answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, but living in captivity, bro. You know what I mean? When you're in captivity and you're in your captive's land, that all goes to here. It doesn't. Cause look,
I give you an example.
I'm about to go ahead. Mm-hmm.
It's just like, why do Jesus got to bring up divorce? That's not even possible for him. Yet he got to bring it up because what's in charge is wrong.
Yep.
So just like here.
Right.
Like you can say whatever you want to say about, well, everything. I said it in a minute. Everything in this house is mine. Let her decide to leave. Like it might have been mine under the power of God.
Yeah.
But we ain't got that power no more.
Yeah.
Now she has exercised the power of man. And therefore,
Yeah, it's a done deal.
The baby daddy.
Even if let's say, yo, look, even if we bought the house, check this out. The man bought the house, got the kids in there. Wife don't have no income, no means of keeping anything. Guess what? If the cops come to the joint, the cops come to there, and y'all have a domestic violence thing, whatever, you don't even have to hit her, whatever. She can even claim that you hit her. Guess who's leaving? I paid for everything. I'm out of my house and everything. But this is what we're set up in right now. See, we're not governed by the book no more. That's part of the curses. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna understand why the Lord told you that your eyes are gonna fail with longing when you see your children taken from you, and you're gonna have no might in your hand to do nothing from it. You know what I mean? Because we stuck here underneath this. So when in Rome, what they say, you do as the Romans, right? And I guess and men and women, they take full advantage of that when they can. Straight opportunists, right? Mm-hmm. So that's it, man. The book don't matter no more. So the easy answer.
The book matters when I die. My wife ain't got to worry about it. The book matters to us. When I died, before I had children, my wife was supposed to, no question asked, take my brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Woo.
So
Yo.
like the book matters when you want it to.
Right. Like the Arabs? Okay, go ahead.
So I was reading an article where a man was at a wedding, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was about to marry Amaya. Amaya gets a heart attack and dies. Guess who married that day while she was in the other room dead?
Who?
Amaya's sister.
A sister? Oh, that's how it went down?
That's how it went down.
Oh, so she was already promised then. I'm talking about
It's a company between a man and a man. And now I'm here, I done gave you this money.
Absolutely.
Made this agreement.
You gotta give me something. Somebody. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, come on, God. Right.
What I'm getting at is,
Right.
but our culture, our society, Western civilization,
Yeah.
we ain't buying it. As soon as we're challenged with the book to how our mama told us it's okay,
Right.
we immediately buck.
Yeah, man. Buck. Straight buck. Yeah, man. Good example. Look, like my brother said, man, like that's hard too. Especially, knowing your brother, you know what I'm saying? Like what you done told me about your brother. You know, when somebody is not desirable, like if a woman was like, brick house, you know what I mean, and that happens, because we have a custom. Israel has a custom that when the brother dies and he's married to a woman and an Israelite and she don't have no children, nothing by it. He dies without having no children. This is the law. The law is if the man dies and he has a brother, the brother, his duty lawfully is to come marry his wife, marry his brother's wife, and the first child that they have, name it after the son, so that the man seek the deceased brother. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it don't. That's what I'm saying, bruh. Man, when you be thinking about how the women had to be back in the day, period. All of us. I mean, it's serious. I agree. I totally agree.
We don't even know how to, how do you, for example,
Right.
how do you have 300 wives and 700 concubines? What I'm
No.
saying is, however it wasn't like some, first of all, it wasn't no harem.
Right. Like not we know it. Like we know it. Yeah.
Like, he's practically his soldier. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put it to you like this. I don't want to make that claim, but I would say he probably, I'm sure that there's a large percentage of them that he only might have slept with once.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? And it's not to say he ain't like none of his wives or none of that, but I'm just saying.
It was different. Right. We ain't even on it like that. Like hey, on real, the more that the Lord allowed me to keep living, and I'm just really understanding this book, it's like, man, our mentality is just off about things. Because I'll be looking at things from the lens of, from a sexual desire, but like from a beast desire, like people, you have more than one wife. What's the first thing that come to your mind? Like first thing comes is like if we having it, I can go lay up and do this.
Like right now,
Like
we
yeah,
start talking about husband and wife in our society.
right, right,
The only thing that, especially black society, the only thing that matters is sex. Meaning, like in the Gentile society, like they building like a whole legacy. They trying to do something. Us, all we trying to do is this is who I've been sleeping with, this who I'm gonna sleep with, we're gonna have babies together. You know what I'm saying? Like kinda like no, it's like you said, it's just all about
yo, cause check it out, like,
bread that went up.
bro, that is what it is, like buck breaking type bread. But what if you had?
Being on Master plantation. Master come in there to sleep with his wife. What is he doing? He got a whole kingdom right now. When you go in there and lie with your wife, what do you get? You see what I'm saying? So they bring
Problems. Problem. I got. I'm sleep. Yo.
better perform right now.
Right.
That's what you really like meaning because you can't do this right. You dig what I'm saying? You're getting your butt beat by Master. You can't buy me crap.
Right.
I'm saying, but we're
I got
bred
problems.
this way now.
Yeah.
You see, like after
Yeah.
years on top of years, that's how we bred a certain type of way.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was like telling them like Sarah was a Sarah was a virtuous woman. I would say she's a virtuous woman. But with that virtue, like everybody want to be a virtuous woman, right? And when you read this, look at what the virtuous woman does, right? That same virtuous woman, like no one could probably say that she wasn't a virtuous woman, right? Everybody would agree that Sarah could be probably a virtuous woman, as what Proverbs 31 talks about, right? What did she do? When Abram thought that he couldn't have, that he wasn't going to have no children of his seed because Sarah was barren, what?
Not his seed, from Sarah.
From Sarah, I'm sorry, yeah. From Sarah, what did she do?
Take my handmaid.
What did she do?
She was humble about it. She was like, have my little slave.
Like, just think about that. I'm like, yo, man, because arguably, no one wouldn't say that Sarah wasn't a virtuous woman. But now, look what she did when her husband, when she thought that she couldn't bear a seed from her or a child. Man, that's a whole mentality into itself, man. That's a whole different mentality, man. And she wasn't even stunned behind it. The only reason why she's stunned is because after the handmaid, started tripping like, yeah, I got you can't have nothing. You know what I mean? She like, get out. And then right. That's terrible. But they you know what? And Abraham's so cold with it. He is like, what you want? What's up? What you want? See, that's what I'm saying. Giving honor to your wife as the weaker vessel. He like, yo, what you want? What's up? What you want to do with this? Hey, well, do see your handmaid, huh?
You know good way this girl been messing with Sarah. Sarah, your ride or die. Like, Hagar, you ain't got no business. Like, really, Abraham wanted her gone. That's who
I mean, ultimately, that's what's going to have to happen. Like,
because you brought disrespect into the house. Sarah gave
yeah,
you privilege.
yeah,
Loud.
yeah. Whoa,
And you gonna see her start trying to like bang on her.
yo,
Like, man, what you want to do with her? 'Cause what's up? Go. And Hagar was like, Sarah was like, okay, because Sarah know if your baby, you did, because she ain't gave him one.
right.
So that whole story will be.
That's real deep. Come, you said you had the privilege. See, people can't even. I could just hear us. Privilege? Yeah, it's a privilege. You know what I mean? But no, you're not looking at the whole big thing, man. Like, that's big.
It's gonna be the father of the kid. Anybody who's not out of the deal is privileged. How about that?
Unbelievable. Yeah. Sheesh. Oh, man.
When you your wife, if you just walked out the bathroom and God just told you, I you are gonna be the father of many nations. And you walk back in and you walk into your girl room and you like, we're gonna do it. She start acting a little funny. Ain't you gonna start be like, Just know what the Lord just said.
Say funny. Yeah, for real. Nah, man. Unbelievable. You know. Nah, man. Yeah. But it's just a whole different mentality, man. I'm like,
But it's bold. Because I don't like to just pick on the women.
yeah.
We jagged up too.
Yeah.
Because we don't even know what that look like. How you going how do you even defend to me? Like you said, oh, I thought it was about the lust. That's all I'm
That's
thinking.
what I said. We all messed up, man.
You told me, if somebody walked up to me, a woman, and said, I want to be your lady wife. My first thing I'm thinking is, so you want me to have sex with you? There's nothing else. I'm not even thinking about nothing else. Like, what else am I supposed to be thinking about? Because that's all that really means at this point.
Yeah.
It's not
It
like you got
ain't like I'm a
thousands
married.
of acres of land and you need.
Right.
It ain't like you're about to build a family and
Right.
build and stack all our bread together and do all like we ain't doing.
Yeah, the Hattiesburg and the McCoys, right?
I don't know what we're supposed to be doing, but I'm saying we ain't doing none of the stuff that would make sense. You know what I'm saying? If you got with a three-fold cord, it's not easily broken, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two is better than one.
That's right. Right.
But y'all ain't three, y'all are one. Matter of fact, you done got more separated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't want with your wife, now I guess she mad.
Yeah, I'm saying, well, we got problems. That's it. Like, the only reason why you laying with her is because you want to forget about this bill that's coming. You forget it. You want to forget about this. What is it called? The eviction notice on the door. That maybe just for a time I can get it off. You know what I mean? Color Purple said the more they kept fighting, the babies kept coming. Yeah. All right, this is it, man. That's it, man. We out of here, right? We at 6:30. All right. All right, any more, man? We be in DC tomorrow. We be in DC tomorrow, man. Yes.
Well, you was just about to ask her right now. So what was your question? Because the Lord had told her that the Lord told her what was right. So she knew right from wrong. So that's why she helped Jacob. Because the Lord had already told her early that Jacob was going to rule over his brother. And the birthright is going to give the person who's supposed to be ruling. So basically, the Lord had told Rebecca, Jacob going to get that birthright. Just like because he said the youngest was going to tell her elder. And it wasn't like Esau was going to ever tell Isaac, Samuel. It wasn't like Esau was going to ever tell Isaac, you know, oh yeah, I sold his birthright, you need to give it to Jacob. You know what I'm saying? So she did what she was supposed to do.
Come on.
But other than that, it's not going to be no answer in there. I don't know if that's sufficient. Basically, because she prophesied because the Lord prophesied to her. That's really all. He told her at the very beginning. So that she held on.
All right, ready? All right, we done with it. Hold on. You have a question? Yeah, we got it.
Okay, so then here's the question to you. Who are you? Okay.
Go to
So
Psalms.
Go back to Romans chapter 11. And yes, both of those are true. Israelite, really you an Israelite. Or a Hebrew. And go to the Romans 11, it's going to tell you in verse 1. That's Romans 11. Yeah, Romans 11 1. Yeah, read that one verse right there.
Mm-hmm. 105.
Let's go back to Romans chapter 3. We're going to make sure we put these together. Romans 3 and then Romans 11. We're going to put these together so that, like, you can see that this is all the same thing. One, sorry.
It's online, brother.
I don't care, man.
It's good online.
I don't care. But go ahead, read that verse. Go ahead. Circumcision. That's a circumcision. So in Romans 3 and 1, it says, what advantage then had a Jew, or what profit is there to circumcision? Because the children of Israel got circumcised. So we were called the circumcision. You know, like that's what we were called. But go ahead. Oracles. Oracle mean like the word of God. So unto the Jews was given the word of God. So here's the thing. The Jews and the Israelites, they the same people. So we are the Jews in this room. Let's look at two more scriptures, and then we're going to move to the next part of your question. John 4 and 24. Or 22, sorry. John 4 and 22. And go ahead and read that. It's that old school. She on. Make her read the question. And let her read her own scripture. That's how it used to always be. So John 4 and 22. That's how it used to be. That sounds good, but that ain't what I John chapter 4, verse 22. Yes, ma'am. Sorry. No, so that's okay. Okay, so now, here's how this all works. In the history class, basically, if it's before 0, then if you ever see Jew, Israelite, whatever, they're black. If it's after Jesus' death, I mean, like, let's say 100, 200, but I don't want to do that because I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. So for the most part, if it's after Jesus' death, and history refers to a Jew, they talking about somebody else, which now let's go to Revelation 3 and 9, and we're going to see who else they talking about, which is the brother of the real Jew. He's the imposter of the real Jew, but he is not the real Jew. Edomite, yep. And he walking around here, he walking around here saying he the Jew. So when you get like you see Independence Day with Will Smith in it. Well, you remember the other guy that was with him, played in Jurassic Park 2, got the long nose, white guy, black hair. Yeah, that's his name. He a Jew. Okay. So we're gonna read this verse right here, Revelation 3 and 9. Revelation 3 and 9. Synagogue. So it's some people who are saying they Jews and are not, and they're lying. Who are those people? The Edomite, the people who saying that they are Jew, the white people that saying they Jews. There's no other way. Sorry, there's no other nicer way to descriptively get you to follow. It's the white people who saying they Jews. They're not Jews. They lying. There's no such thing as a white Hebrew Israelite, short of the fact that you might have had some type of skin disease or something, or however you see black people look. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So, and not that I care. You know what I'm saying? It's just that it's saying that there's some people who saying they're Jews and they lying. Well, we not the ones that's lying. We are the ones that have had our identity taken from us Because no, we are the ones who have made the choice to lose our identity. That's a better way of putting it. Yes. Yes. Biblically, they fake Jews. Or better yet, they're not Jews. So if we're going to have a biblical conversation, they're Edomites or Idumeans or Esau. But see, when we go outside, if you go to the desk clerk and be like, yeah, them Edomites just left my room. She go, huh? They ate what? You know what I mean? Like, she not going to follow what you saying. You know what I'm saying? So now, but if you say them Jews that was up there, oh, she going to understand what you saying. She going to think you talking about somebody with a kufi on their head with some strings hanging down their face. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what she going to think. But in reality, you going to be in the realm of the truth talking about us. Yes. And I'm just going by like what the Bible is saying. Like me reading and thinking all Jewish. When I read this, I'm thinking all everybody that was Jewish, including the Lord, was all white. Right. I'm reading that way. So if those are your people, if Jesus said those are my people, then I don't understand why you don't know how to love black people. Yeah, well. Them ain't the same. Them people, that's what we read today. And you probably might want to go back over it now that you kind of got some insight. Them people been hating us from day one. That's what we was reading with Jacob and Esau, that they was hating us during the times of Jacob and Esau from day one. Raquel, would you please go get Nashawn? But why are you leaving the thing when it's cutting out? And you know it's cutting out. I'm just getting really sick of you, man. So you're going to make me embarrass you in front of everybody. I'm going to punch you in front of everybody because I'm sick of saying stuff to you. So at any rate, so them people that say that's just like Revelation 2 and 9. Let's turn to that one. This is the one we read today in class. Yes, ma'am. Revelation 2 and 9. So those who say they Jews, they're liars. They're imposters. They are Edomites, Idumeans. Some of them ain't even that. Make it so bad. Some of them just Gentiles, which is not even of the same bloodline. You went from Abraham to going all the way back up and down to Japheth, Japheth. So some of them even going that far. But the thing about the Edomites, they play this game like, oh, I think they do it with your mama. I don't even know if the Edomites do that. I honestly don't believe the Edomites say that. I think that's the American Jews that or the Khazars or whatever. And I think they deal with you are what your mother is. I don't really know. I've looked at it, but it's not that major to me because y'all all liars. Whether you a converted Jew or whether you was born physically from Edom and you are an Edomite, regardless, you ain't no real Jew. But Revelation 2 and 9. Synagogue. Think about that part. They synagogues of Satan. Who you know worship at the synagogue? Them Edomites, them Jews. But look what it say. Then it say, I know your poverty, but you rich. Them Jews ain't poor. We poor. Like, that's the thing. Like it's in the Bible. It's been in the Bible all our lives. Somebody just had to walk us by that street and tell us to read it. Read the sign. What's your other question? Oh, we answered both of them? No. Yes. Edomite, Esau, Idumea, all that is the same thing. Yes. Yes. And they stole it. They begin to steal it as soon as we went into captivity. I'm talking about the first time. I'm talking about with Israel. Like if you really go and start, every time Israel was going out the land, they was trying to creep right on in until eventually they was able to creep on in. And like I said, they disappeared in history. Where did they disappear to? No, no. Otherwise, we all got the same bloodline. Because he said 2 nations in your womb. So that's why we could decide, that's why we could stop it right there and say you got Jacob bloodline and Esau bloodline. But to what you're saying, they both come from Isaac, though. That's what he was saying, like, it's the same blood. But the only reason is because he's saying it's 2 nations. And at some point, we got to say, okay, now, because blood, yeah, that's relative, you know what I'm saying? But, like, do you and me got the same blood? I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Like, at some point, we stop it somewhere, or we start it somewhere, one or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't, because otherwise we do got the same blood. We both Jacob seed. You know what I'm saying? But no, because, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just we know that, well, you your daddy child, and I'm my daddy child. You know what I'm saying? So going back to that, then, yes, he's right. They have the same bloodline due to the fact that they're both Isaac's son. But when you read it, it was like 2 nations are in your womb. So right there, it's like the split. And we're going to go Jacob way, and we're going to go Edom way, 2 different nations. Yeah. Yeah. But they grew up together.
Yeah. My question is that, just listen to this. Then who's in Israel? Is it the German Jew, the ones that was persecuted by Hitler?
Watch this. I like your question.
German Jews, like I've heard of German Jews, Italian Jews, all these.
But the Italian and German Jews, they really all the same. And the Polish Jews. Here's the answer to that. Who ruled the world? The Gentile rule the world. Then the Gentile is everywhere, and they've had their hand on everything. Now, with that being said, the Arab is in the land. Now, when you go look up Arab is all the people that we call, like Arabs, like the Jews, the so-called Jews again. Because they really not the Edomites, but nobody calls them that. The Edomites are Arabs. Pakistanians are Arabs, Afghanistans are Arabs, and all of Saddam Hussein, remember how black he used to look? He Arab, you dig what I'm saying? All of them Arab, and when you see one that's not Arab, then you know they're a Khazar or they from Poland or whatever. You understand what I'm saying now?
So what you're saying is it's safe to say we already know that Edom's in the land.
Edom got to be in the land.
Yeah, I mean, that has happened. But them Gentiles are mixed in with.
So when you see a white person, it's a white person. And if he ain't a white person, then he could be any spectrum of Arab. He could be a son of Ammon, son of Moab, a son of Ishmael. He could be a son of Keturah and Hercules. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's a lot of nations over there. No, the only people that want to be Jews is the ones that saying they Jews and they not, which is a group of Gentiles and the Edomites. You understand what I'm saying? Arab and Jew is 2 different things. Arab is what all of them are. That's over there in that Middle East. See, all of it is done to keep us confused. Right, but it's not confusing. See, we grow up calling them Arabs, right? That's the only thing you call them. You didn't know nothing about no Ishmael or nothing. You didn't call them Muslim. You just called them Arabs. And that's true. Go look up the word Arab. They're all Arabs over there. But now, when you start saying, who's saying they the Jew? Well, it's really 2 sets of people saying that. Edom and the Gentile. The Gentile is saying they the Jew. Them we would call your Ashkenaz or Khazars. They come from the Gentile, from Poland. That's when and basically in so many words, before the Black Plague, they was your bankers, like they mingled in with the real Edomites. and they was still on the same vibe of getting money. So they basically, it's kind of like, let's take Tyler. Let's say he an Edomite, and let's say I'm a white guy. Ain't that funny? And you know what I'm saying? Like, but he know how to get money. You know what I'm saying? And I want to get money. But he like, the only way I'm going to get money is if you going to have to be what I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we do this in the name of our God, whatever. So then guess what? What are you? Well, he says, I'm a Jew. Okay, I'm a Jew too then. And now I come home and I tell the kids, all right, y'all, we Jews. You know what I'm saying? And then the next thing you know, he's saying he a Jew. I'm saying neither one of us Jews. Now 20, 30 generations later, all his descendants saying they Jews, all my descendants saying they Jews. Neither one of us Jews. You the dang on Jew. But since we kicked you out, you can't come and defend your Judaism. You know what I'm saying? You can't come and say, no, I'm the Jew. So now we can just keep taking it. And he ain't mad that I joined because it makes it easier for him to keep his spot from you.
Yeah. That's why when you read that John 4:22,
That makes sense.
that's why we said we know what we worship, because salvation of the Jews. Jesus was talking to a Samaritan who was long in 722. The Syrians came and took all the northern country Israelites out. That's they call Ephraim or Israel. So that's all the rest of them. They got took out, and then the king of Assyria put other nations in there, where you got Ashkenaz and all them other nations. They put in there, and they stayed in there all the way up until Jesus' time. So when you there, you got converted. There's all converts. So now proselytes. That's another good word. Proselyte is a convert. So now they going through, and you know, all this time go by. Jesus come by this well, and then the woman there, and the Jews had no dwellings with them, and they knew that. You know what I mean? Because they knew that they were, you know what I mean, proselytes. They weren't even of their blood. So that's why it is like, you know, hey, we know what we worship. The woman asked, hey, this is our father Abraham's well, you know what I mean? But boom, she's like, she already see like our father Abraham, like Abraham ain't got no ties to you, but
I'm gonna use that next time.
you know what I'm saying?
Even though
Let's read.
what you're saying, they ain't got nothing to do with Esau, but the same mentality that she got.
That's what it is, yeah.
Our father Abraham.
Yeah, you've been in there so long and been practicing so long that you just said, oh, this is my father, when you have no blood ties to it. That's the whole mentality that the Edomite has to this day. They have no claim. That's like you want to see how ridiculous it is? It's like you saying, I'm a lion. I'm going to go there. Like a lion, like a real live lion. Anybody with sense can be like, you're a human being. There's no way. Like, look at it that way. Like, they have no claim at all to the land, to even saying that they're a Jew. That's why they're Jewish, something like a Jew. And to be a Jew, you got to be from the tribe of Judah. And since we is all scattered, we don't know who we are. That's why we be like, we Hebrews, we're Israelites. But
Jew is what they start calling them.
yeah, you know what I mean? Because
Jews all start a part of God's plan. Like, you know.
yeah, God is.
Because really the reason we was called Jew is because we wasn't doing right. We would have been doing right. Everybody would have been called the son of whatever their tribe was anyway.
Yeah.
And he split the kingdom up. And so next you know, the kingdom of Judah became the Jew.
Yeah, even when you look at the map, when what's that? The map of what was that? That 1744 map where you have the Ivory Coast, the Gold Coast, and all that. The slave coast, on the slave coast it says the kingdom of Judah. There, you know what I mean? Where they're getting the slaves from. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'm about to get that map. I'm bringing it here one day and show that to y'all. But they knew what it was, you know what I mean? Because Judah was the last people in the land. You know what I'm saying? So, it's 12 tribes. That should be better off. Uh-huh. Praise the Lord for that. You know what I mean? Like you got knowledge that you got knowledge that most of the world, man, dying for it. That's why it's a beautiful thing. They don't even get it. They don't get it at all. Stay faithful, the Lord will give you more. Stay faithful, the Lord will give you more. And this is the simplest thing. With that revelation 2 or not, oh, man. At Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. You know what I'm saying? 2 churches the Lord was pleased with, Philadelphia and Smyrna. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. This the new world anyway, you know what I mean? All these names are out the old world, you know what I mean? We're talking about England and all that stuff, you know what I mean? All there, so, you know, it's all definitely dead. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. All right, look, that's good. That's it. All right. Mm-hmm.
Our Father which art in heaven.
Our Father which art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth.
Thy will be done in earth
As it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread, and
Forgive us our debts.
forgive us our debts
As we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
In Jesus' holy name,
In Jesus' holy name,
amen.
amen.